Hello, longboarding mom. Today, I know it's been a while since I've been in the kitchen, and it's August, almost the end of August right now. It is the middle of August. Summer is over. Not officially yet, but it's coming close. I know some kids have already started school. I can't believe that. They start early. I mean, some kids go year round, like my nieces and nephews and stuff. They come up in July and have, I think, like 2 weeks off. They go right back into school and stuff. They go to school year round, which is kind of cool because they get mini vacations year round and they don't lose that learning and they keep reading, they keep everything going and stuff because in summertime kids don't do a lot of learning and stuff, so they lose a lot. Our kiddos, they start after Labor Day weekend, which is in September. Oh, I don't know this year. It could be like in August. I think it's like the end of this month. But anyway, so they'll start school like the third or fourth in September, sometimes not even until the 8th. It just depends on whatever day and stuff. So summer is coming to an end fast, and I have been not doing a lot like I wanted to. You know, things happen. I got a new kitten, so I've been just spending a lot of time with that. You know, you've seen the video with the vet and stuff, and he got sick. And I should have known, you know, taking him out of the weeds, I should have gotten him tested for worms because, of course, you know, they can be born with worms even. But he was doing so well the first month and everything and gaining weight and stuff. Well, yeah, I was feeding everything, him included, with the worms. But yeah, we're going to do a cooking video. We don't want to talk about that. But he is doing so well. I just got the cats a new scratching post, you know, in the big, like lounge posts or whatever where they can lay on it. I have one. It's in my bedroom. My cat uses it to climb up on the bed. It's her stair step and stuff, and I wanted to bring it out here, but it's already being used for a purpose. And so I bought this new one, and my husband's like, where are we gonna put it? Because our apartment is tiny. I said, exactly where we had the little one, that little round one. You know, it sat there for a good month or two, you know, almost two, for the kitten and stuff. So it's not gonna, the new one's not gonna take up any space. He's all, well, it's big. I go, it's the same size. It's just taller. And I brought it in, put it all together, and the little kitten's like, Wolfsburg's like, I don't know about this. It doesn't smell like us. It doesn't smell like Wolfgang, the big fat cat. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna bring her out and put her on it. So I put her on the lower side. It's a small little square, like yay big, but she's bigger than that. So I put her on the top one, and she was getting ready to jump off, and I just kind of gave her a little pet, and she's like, ooh, muffin, and did her little loaf, and she loved it because she could see all around. There's a little toy for her to play with, and she's becoming more active, and she's jumping from the couch to that, and so this is what I wanted for her because she's a big fat cat, and she just kind of lays around the house all the time, and you know, she plays a little bit, but she just lays there and just like you play with her and she doesn't move. She just like attacks things while she lays there. So now she's running and playing and stuff. So that's really good. But August is a busy month at my work. It's my boss's birthday, my boss's wife's birthday. Or they're both my bosses. The husband and wife, they're like a week apart. And I've already made them a cake for their birthday. Her favorite is tres leche cake. And I made one and took like half of it to work for them to share. Not to share with everybody, but for her and him for their birthdays and stuff. And everybody's seen it. And they're like, ooh, tres leche. And I was like, oh, man. And my boss saw, it was early morning, she saw, all right, took a bite. And I had to hide it. And so she hid it so that she'd have her cake for later. And her husband's like, ooh, that was really good. And so I had made this cake once before, and she really liked it. And then I made another one, but I used a different recipe, and she did not like it. And it's funny because I can always tell if she likes something that I make versus if she doesn't like something I make, because she will talk about it and be like, how did you make this? This is so good. And I had to hide it. And I ate it all. And she will not eat a lot of sweets. So it is really hard to find something that she likes. But if she doesn't like something, she won't talk about it. She won't say a word. You know, can't say nothing nice. Don't say anything at all. So the second cake, she didn't say very much about it. And I finally went to her. I was like, you didn't like it. It was a different recipe. I found my recipe. Yay! It is kind of time consuming because you got to bake the cake, let it cool, punch some holes in it, pour the leche over it, let it sit for a couple hours, and then or overnight even, and then you make your whipped cream and put the whipped cream topping on top of it, sprinkle it with some cinnamon, and you can do like fresh strawberries or fruit if you want, or I think where I get it at the Waterfront Depot, they do caramel sauce or something. I don't know, but it's so amazing. And one day I want that recipe. But this one came from the internet, and when I go get my recipe, I'll show you guys, because I've got to get all my ingredients out, which isn't a lot, really. It's a lot of milks, because it's tres leche, so you got 3 different milks. But the ingredients are really simple. It's just whipping the eggs up and stuff, you know, the egg whites, and separating your eggs and stuff. So it is, and I sift my flour too. So let's get started on gathering all my ingredients. I gotta get my recipe. I've got it printed. I love it. First thing I'm gonna do is sift 1 cup of flour. That way I know that I'm getting exactly a cup. And it's not going to be chunky. A little bit more. I'm going to do a little bit more than a cup, and then I will get a cup out of that, because this sifts actually 2 cups of flour. So I'll do 1 cup, and then or whatever this is going to be, and then I'll measure a cup out of it. But what I'm going to do first, or after I'm done doing this, is separate egg whites from the yolks. Now I've taken all of my rings off. I have washed my hands really, really good, because I like to use my hands when I do this. And we're going to be very, very careful. Wait, I need to save the yolk. Okay, yeah, the whites are going to go in here. The yolks I got to do first, so we're going to throw the yolk in there. Oops, I might have broke the yolk on that one. Hopefully not. These are I just bought these eggs brand new, so they'll be a little bit easier to work with. They don't break as easily. And we're going to save the whites because we are going to incorporate the whites in with the yolks and the sugar and the flour. Whoops. These break. Oh, see, and I don't want any yolk in there. So hold on. I've never... The whites, when are much harder to whip up if you've got fat in it. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could have a little bit, but you don't want a lot. So be very careful. Kind of broke this one, so I'm gonna try not to squeeze the yolk out of it. Come on, Yogi. Come on, white. Separate. They have actual, like, things that you can buy to do this. Okay. Come on. Look at it. It's not wanting to separate very easily. It looks like a little person. There's its head, body, arm. Try to get that slimy white out of there. Oh, okay. I'm going to do that. I'm hoping that's going to be okay. So what we're going to do is set this aside over here. I don't know if I can strain that, maybe. This is garbage. And we are going to do 1 cup, no, 3/4 cup of sugar. Because we need 1 cup of sugar, but we're going to do 3/4 of a cup of sugar in with the yolks. One, 2, and 3. And then we are going to whip this up until it's combined. We're going to turn it to a pale yellow. I don't know if you can see that color very well. I'm going to see if I can lift this up. It's got a yellow color. There's still a little bit of yolky in there, so I'm going to get that whipped up the rest of the way. But I need 1 cup of flour, and I'm going to mix the salt and the baking powder in together before I dump it in the sugar mixture. So there's 1 cup of flour. I'm going to get this out of my way now. So I'm going to turn this down and whip it up again on high for just a little bit. Make sure I get all the sugar mixed in. I'm telling you, that little lump in the middle makes it hard for everything to mix in. Oh, but that's a beautiful color. Not quite pale. It's still kind of a bright yellow. So we're going to whip it up a little bit more. To the flour, 1 cup of flour, we are going to add 1.5 teaspoons baking powder and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And that's a pretty pale color right there. So we're going to stop that so we don't over mix it. And I'm going to stir. Oh, let's use a dry fork. Stir this around. I did not get my milk out of the refrigerator yet, so I've got to go grab my whole milk. You use whole milk. I've got sweetened condensed milk, and I also have evaporated milk. That's for the tres leche part that you pour on it, but you also use the whole milk to pour in here. So I'll be right back. I got to grab that whole milk. We don't drink a lot of whole milk in my house, so I got just a little container of this. My husband will drink the rest of what I don't use. I need to add to this mixture here 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Oh, I'm going to use this one because it doesn't have any flour on it. So we're going to mix 1 teaspoon of vanilla and 1/3 cup of whole milk. And that was the issue with that other recipe that I found. I don't think it called for whole milk. It said use any kind of milk. And really, you need whole milk because you need the richness of the milk. And I think also I didn't separate. It was a weird. You didn't go through this egg separation thing here, and I think you really got to make the cake right, and it's like a sponge cake. Okay, so 1/3 cup. So we got 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I'm going to got some egg in there, and I should have mixed that in there because I need it in a bigger bowl. Now I'm going through all these bowls. Wonders why my husband's like, you so much, because I forget that I needed the bigger bowl for the flour. And so okay, so we're gonna mix this together, then we're gonna pour that into this mixture here and mix it together, and then I'm gonna clean this bowl up. Clean this bowl up because I need to have a clean bowl when I start doing the egg whites. Okay, I'm going to put this in the sink because I'm going to wash this really good. Come on. I need that. We're going to, so you don't want to over mix this mixture here. You want to stir it on and stir until it's combined, but you don't want to over mix it. Look at the pretty vanilla in there. So pretty. Last time I used my vanilla from Mexico, which is really good because it's got that hint of cinnamon in it. But I wanted to put cinnamon on top of my cake, my icing, because you just like sprinkle cinnamon on top of it, and I didn't want it to be overly cinnamony. Okay, so we're gonna mix this around. Don't want to over mix it. Where's my spatula? Oh, I gotta preheat my oven. 350 degrees. Once I'm done stirring this around, I'm going to go preheat the oven. So I'll be ready to go. I bought a foil pan from Dollar Tree. Yes, they went up to $175 now. It's cake size 11 by 13. And the reason I bought a cake pan is because I am down to one glass cake pan in my house. And if I give my boss any pans, let's see, I'm missing plates. I'm down to like 7 plates. I used to have 12. So anytime I bring her stuff, I never get anything back. So I've been going to Dollar Tree and buying whatever, and then I don't care if I don't get it back. So give me a second. I'm gonna preheat the oven to 350. I'm going to wash those 2 dishes because I need the bowl and I need my whisk again because I'm going to fluff up those egg whites, and we're going to combine it all together here in a second, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I have my egg whites here, and we need 1 more 1/4 cup of sugar. So I'm going to get that ready. We are not going to pour that sugar in until so last time I made this, I did not clean my bowl. I just went straight from that to trying this, and so this little bit of yolky should be okay. And I didn't follow the directions, and I dumped the sugar in right away. So I made not stiff egg whites. They were, I don't know how to explain it. Took forever. I didn't overbeat it. I was just worried that I wasn't, so I just mixed the mixture in together, and it worked. So this time I'm going to follow the directions. We are going to put this on high, and once it starts getting like peaks, then you gradually add in your sugar. I'm going to set this over here. I'm going to grab a bigger spatula because to fold in the egg whites and stuff to this mixture here, I want a big spatula. So let's get this started on high. I think I might have started too soon again with the sugar because it's not forming any peaks yet. It is getting stiffer. Well, that's good. I swear it's this mixer. I can do so much better with my KitchenAid. Don't get it. Last time I actually, okay, so it does say room temperature eggs work a little bit better. Is not getting stiff peaks. I just, okay, continuing on. I don't know how many minutes it's been, but 5 minutes or longer. Ah! I'm so impatient. Ugh. It's not getting, I mean, it looks like it's getting thicker, but it's not. I don't want to have to whip up some more eggs. This is what I did last time. I'm like, And I gave it another like 5 minutes, and then I just mixed it all together. I might, you know what? I might just sell this mixer and just use my KitchenAid because I love my KitchenAid. I've never had so many issues with this mixer. I don't like my pizza dough. I don't like how it leaves a a little chunk in the center, and you've got to constantly mix, open it up to mix it and stuff. So anyway, I'm going to give it 5 more minutes, and then we're just going to mix it in if it doesn't work. Okay, it's getting a little stiffer. It hasn't been 5 minutes, but we're moving on. I got 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. Okay, I give up. It's been 5 minutes I know of. This is kind of how it looked last time. Actually, I had better peaks last time. I just don't want to over whip it though, so I know what I did wrong, but I would like you guys to comment in the comments and let me know what I did wrong. So we are going to incorporate this. I'm going to dump this into here, and we are going to gently fold it all together, mix it together. It's not a bad mixture, but it's not fluffy like it should be. And my Dollar Tree pan, I am using it, but I am very disappointed in that. It is very flimsy. When I grabbed it, it has, the little cover, the plastic cover that goes on top for your cakes and stuff or whatever. So it felt a lot sturdier, but once I took that off and washed the pan and stuff, so I'm afraid when they cut the cake, it's going to go right through it. So I'll be very careful poking holes into it. Yes. See, I think it's a little runnier than what it was supposed to be. That's why it's not incorporating. I mean, it is. This is kind of what I did last time. But I want to make sure I get all the egg white mixed in. Otherwise, it's going to be like a crunchy little sugary layer on top, which is okay. You know how I know? Because that's what happened last time. And it was spongy, though. It was good. So I'm hoping I don't get all the air out of it. That's why you want to whip it up better than I whipped it up. Okay. I am not going to stir anymore. I don't want to over mix it. I'm going to dump it into my pan. My flimsy, look at that. Flimsy little pan. Do not grease it. Make sure it's evenly poured. And we're going to bake it in the oven at 350 degrees for 25 minutes. I'm going to check it. My timer will give me a 5-minute warning. I'm going to give it a a little toothpick test at 20 minutes and then 25 minutes. It should be done. That's how long it took last time. It says 25 to 35 minutes, but it was done in my glass pan in 25 minutes. So what I'm going to do is just kind of shake the cake a little bit because I want it even. But see the white spots? That's going to probably give it a little crunchy, crispy, little, not what I want, but it's airy, so it looks like it's going to be airy. I'm going to put this in the oven and we'll come back in 25 minutes. It's so flimsy. Cleanup time. We have 12 minutes remaining on the timer. I'm just going to whip up the tres leche. We do not pour this on until the cake is completely cooled, but I like to get it all together and get it in the refrigerator and kind of get it all cold. I don't know why. That's what I did last time, and it seemed to soak up better. It also took more. The sponge cake took more because like sometimes you end up with a lot left over because your cake doesn't soak it up and stuff. What we need now is a 1/4 cup of whole milk, and because this goes to 1 cup, I'm going to use my little measuring thing here. So really we use a 1/4 cup of whole milk for this and 1/3 of a cup. So there's quite a bit left in here. My husband will love that because he likes whole milk. And then the sweetened condensed milk. I had it upside down the other day. My husband moved them, so I don't know. I like to put it upside down so the sugars kind of go to the top, I guess, kind of mixes around a little better. This, I give it a good shake. So we're going to use a 12-ounce can of evaporated milk and a 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed. Isn't that weird? This can is bigger and it's got less in it by volume. That's just crazy because this has sugar, a lot more sugar in it than that does. That's why it's a smaller can. Oops, I gotta wipe this one off, clean it. Got my whisk out because I'm going to whisk it all together. This is leche. It's so good. Hold on. I need a spatula to get all that goodness out. And so I just bought these cans from Safeway. So they're, the expiration date is not near expired at all. So if you have a can of sweetened condensed milk and it's close to the expiration date, you definitely want to give that a good stir because the sugar that's why I put it upside down. Because the sugar likes to go to the bottom of the can and just sit there. So you want to stir it all up really, really, really good if it's close to the expiration date. This was not, so it just all poured right on out. And then I'm going to take my little whisk and I'm going to just mix it all together. Oh, I love leche. I know, so just sugar and milk. And I'm going to mix that all together. And then I'm just going to put it, saran wrap over it and put it in the refrigerator. I got a couple more minutes before I check on my cake. It's smelling good. It started to raise, so. And before we pour this onto the cake, we will give it a good stir again. That's it for the leche. That's what you pour on. That's my milk mixture, the tres leche. That's what the leche is. Yummy. You guys. Put that right here. Gosh, I hope I didn't bend it around too much. And see how it's lower on one side and higher on the other. That's wasn't supposed to happen, but that's okay. So I'm going to put my toothpick in, pull it out, and there's nothing that came out on it. So we are going to start cooling our cake. And when it's cool enough, we will show you guys how to poke the holes in it and dump the leche on it. You don't just dump it. You kind of pour it and let it soak into your cake. But see how it's kind of crunchy a little bit? That's, I think, the egg white mixture and stuff. But it's okay. It's sugary, yummy deliciousness. My microphone was turned off, so I have to remember what I was doing. I was just pulled my cake out of the oven and it has cooled for a couple hours. I took my little spatula and I freed it from the edges. I just tried to poke holes in it with a fork and it did not work because it was a little sticky. I recommend putting it in the refrigerator and cooling it more so it's not sticky. But instead, I just took a toothpick and I started poking little holes in the cake. A million little holes. And it took a lot of time. So I was playing with my microphone. I got a new one and I'm learning how to like cut out sounds that are in the background, loud noises, and it just picks up voices and stuff. But I forgot to turn it back on. So I don't know what I was saying while I was doing this cake. Except for that, I really enjoy baking. I took this cake to work and I gave it to the kitchen because it was everybody's birthday. My boss's birthdays were a week apart. One of my cook's birthdays is in August. I don't even know if he got some because one of the other cooks took a big old piece home to his wife, Mimi, which I love her to pieces. And he said it was so good that he would like to have me make a cake for him and he would buy it. And I just told him if he bought all the ingredients, I would gladly make a cake for him because I love baking and I love his family. I poked a whole bunch of holes into my cake. Don't mind that little corner right there. I had to try it. I told you I was going to probably eat a slice, so that'll be my slice later. So I got my tres leche out of the refrigerator, that mixture I showed you earlier, and I'm mixing it up again, and we're just going to slowly start pouring it onto the cake and letting it soak in. It's so good. And with the peaches on it, it's going to be so good. I've never actually tried it with the peaches, but those are peaches from my neighbor's yard. Oh, I can't wait to try it. So after we pour this on and it soaks in a little bit, we'll let it sit in the refrigerator for a couple hours. And we will probably I'm going to try to get most of this mixture poured on it. If it doesn't all soak in, we will save it for coffee cream. It's a good coffee cream sugary mixture. Once it starts to puddle on top, then you know it's time to stop pouring your leche on. I'm going to pour a little bit more in that little hole. Okay, we are going to cover the cake, recover our leche, and let it sit in the refrigerator to soak up that stuff. You can always just, if you're in a hurry, cover it with your whipped cream topping and sprinkle it with cinnamon and serve it. But you really want it to soak in because it's going to go into the cake and kind of soak up through the bottom and stuff. And then, and also it's going to cool, like, get all cold all together. So we'll be back in a couple hours. I am going to make the whipped topping very, very fast. I was going to add a little bit more leche to it, but it kind of puddled on top. So that means it's not going to accept any more of that leche. So I'm going to have some cream for my coffees the next couple days. This is heavy whipping cream. It's 1 pint. I did pour a little bit in my coffee earlier, but that's okay. Dump the whole 1 pint in here. We are going to add a half a teaspoon of vanilla. Again, I'm using my sister's vanilla paste. You can use any kind of vanilla you have. Real vanilla is the best. And 3 tablespoons of powdered sugar. Oh, I grabbed the half a tablespoon. Where is my tablespoon? There it is. 1, 2, and we are going to whip this up on high until it whips up into whipped cream. Don't do it too long because otherwise you make butter, sweet butter. Gonna make sure all that sugar is stirred in. Turn it back on high. A little thicker. Hmm. Perfect. Now we are going to take all of this whipped cream and dump it on top of that cake. So the one thing I liked about using my glass pan is when I was adding the leche to it, I can actually see the bottom of the pan and see if it's soaking into the cake or if it was just puddling in the bottom. I'm assuming this one soaked up into the cake because it was not allowing any more to go on in it when I was pouring some on it. Could be all whipped cream. If you want your icing, your whipped cream to be a little sweeter, you can add a little more powdered sugar to it, but this cake with everything else inside of it, it's already sweet enough. So you don't need your icing to be any sweeter than it already is. Or your whipped topping, I should say. I'm trying to get it even, but you saw how uneven my cake was. And now we're going to sprinkle some cinnamon on top. And I hope this was that piece that I already cut a little piece off of. The first one's always hard to get out. And there it is. The tres leche cake. I'm going to show you the inside of that. So it all soaked up. Now I need a bite. Mmm. Perfect. Mm. I forgot to cut the peaches. That means I'll have to have another slice later, maybe. Maybe. Mm. Yum.
Merci.
Mister. Hey, kitty.